Hello, my name is Justine Rowe. I'm 24 years old and I'm from the United States of America. I graduated from the College of Charleston with degrees in French, English, and Communication. In 2011, after I graduated, I taught in France for a year as an English language assistant. There I worked in 3 primary schools with 10 different teachers. I went into each of their classrooms once a week for about an hour and conducted an English lesson. The students that I worked with ranged in ages from 5 to 11 and in skill levels from complete beginners to about high intermediate. We focused on lessons that used all aspects of English language learning, including listening, speaking, reading, and writing. With the children, we used lots of songs and lots of games to really encourage them and motivate them and have them see how enjoyable English language learning can be. Outside of the classroom, I also conducted private lessons with a few students, a few teenagers who were high intermediate level, and a few young adults who were high intermediate to advanced. With them, I learned how to tailor lessons to specific students' needs, as well as focus on more advanced concepts such as grammar and pronunciation. In addition to teaching in the ESL classroom, I also worked as a peer facilitator when I was at university. There I conducted a weekly class for first years to help ease their transition from high school to college. I taught them how to focus on their own strengths and to also use all the things that the university had to offer to help them succeed in school. I also acted as a teacher, a friend, and a mentor, someone they could come to with any problems or questions that they had. I also worked at a school readiness camp in the summers here in South Carolina, helping elementary and middle school age students prepare during the summer vacation to get back into school. We talk about studying habits and homework, about paying attention in class, and also I conducted basic lessons in reading, math, and science. As far as classroom management for a size of 20 to 25 students, I have a lot of experience with that since the classes I taught in France were mostly between 20 and 30 people. 20 and 30 students, excuse me. I believe that one of the first things to do is just to set up your class in a way that's inviting and practical. You want to make sure every student can see you and that you can see every student. I also really believe in setting a ritual, an English class ritual that will help students get into the zone and get ready for class that day. In France, our ritual began with good morning, what is today's date, and how's the weather? And then I would present what we were going to talk about that day. Depending on the age of the students and their skill level, I might set up a different ritual, but I do believe in doing the same thing every day to get all the students focused and on task. Another thing, class management for a class that size really does depend on how the ages of the students and also their skill level. But one thing you can do is divide the class and have them, half the class or a few groups of the class work on one task while the rest work on another. You could have one half of the class working on a reading assignment that's more to their level, a reading assignment with questions and activities to prepare, while the other class that's on a different level works on a listening activity, where we read a story and then they do coinciding activities and questions. That way everyone's doing something that's appropriate to their level and everyone's learning. I also believe in really using the whole class when it's needed. You can use entire class work, also group work, pair work, and solo work. Sometimes you can mix groups or mix skill levels in a group. Have, the more advanced students help the younger students or the less experienced students. It's not always by age. Another thing you can do is say everyone does work on the same task, but the assignment that goes with it could vary. Everyone could be reading the same story, but you'll have 3 sets of questions that go and increase in difficulty. So the students who are less experienced will still be able to get some, and the more advanced students will really be able to answer everything. But everyone's still learning, and everyone still can talk about the same subject. As far as my passion for teaching, I really discovered it while I've been traveling. I've traveled a lot throughout Europe, and this summer I traveled through Southeast Asia for a month. And through those travels, I've really seen the need and the desire of various people to learn English. I've seen how beautiful it is when everyone can at least attempt to speak the same language, how nice it is to be able to communicate. But I've also really seen how important it is for people to speak English to help them succeed in the world today. And since I'm a native English speaker, I would love to use that advantage to help people. Since I've grown up speaking English, I know the rules, I know the structure, and I would love to do that to help people learn English so they can help themselves. I would especially love to teach in Turkey because I have not been, and I'm ready to experience a new and different and exciting culture, especially one that has such an ancient and varied history. Istanbul in particular speaks to me because I really love the vibrancy of a large city, one that's so cultural. There's so much to do, and there's so much that I can learn from them. So in total, I'd really love to learn from Turkey, immerse myself, experience so much from them, but also share from them where I come from, my American English background, and the culture that I grew up with. Thank you very much. Bye.